Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Today we are talking about the 2021 Postmates cheat codes, and this is going to be an informational video and try to help you guys out as much as you possibly can, because on Postmates, we all know it, you waste a lot of time, you lose a lot of money, you sit around, you wait for crappy orders, you sit in restaurants too long. Like, there's so many things that can go wrong while doing Postmates. So I'm going to try to help you guys out with all the best tips that I possibly can. This is my 4th year making this video, so I've been doing Postmates for about 3.5 years or so, and yeah, so let's get to it. So rule number 1 about doing Postmates is so it's 2021, and I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Postmates is the worst delivery platform. So if you're only doing Postmates, again, this is my opinion, but I do Postmates and I also do DoorDash. Postmates is significantly worse. And if you are only doing Postmates, you're not going to make very much money. You got to get onto a different platform. The more platforms you're on, the more amount of chances you have to make more money. The better orders come in, the more like variation of orders you get, you know? So if you're just doing Postmates, you're not going to make very much money. And like, take it from my experience, my first year when I was delivery driving, I didn't make very much money. I needed to make $2,000 a month, and I really struggled. And I was driving all day long, and I still could barely make the $2,000 a month. As soon as I got signed on to DoorDash, oh man, I was making $2,000 a month like nothing. So just being absolutely honest with you guys, and Postmates may hate me for saying this, or Uber, because Uber owns Postmates now, but Postmates is not very good platform. So if you are driving for Postmates, try to get onto a different platform. And one of the best things that you can do is take like a DoorDash order, for example. And if you be signed into both of them. If you get a DoorDash order, take a double order, you know? If another order comes up from Postmates and you can do both of them at the same time, why not make the extra money, you know? The only reason I would say not to is if it's not totally on the way. Because if you are like taking forever to deliver someone's order, it's not going to be good. You could get deplatformed. But you'd be surprised how often an order comes up that is exactly on the way. It doesn't take you out of the way at all. Sometimes it's even from the same restaurant to the same area. So why not make the double money? So number 2, my biggest thing with Postmates that I hate is that they add on extra orders. And every time that you get an order, you have to select do not add on extra orders. Because, okay, first of all, this is the one thing that really bugs me about Postmates. Well, there's a lot of things, but Postmates, they only pay you for one order. So they'll pay you for the second order. They'll give you like your mileage driven and stuff, but there's no standard flat rate. Like, so they give you the $3 average, the $3 per order thing, you know? And then on top of that, they add on like 10 cents a mile, or probably more than that, but they add on little things here and there, you know? If you get a second order, they don't pay you that $3 again. All of the other delivery platforms, I don't know about Uber Eats, but all of the other ones do. So for example, if I'm on DoorDash and I have an order and then they add on another order, they ask me if I want to take that order, and it always pays me the standard rate for the next order at least. So I just think DoorDash and like Grubhub, they're much more honest platforms. For Postmates, I feel like they're just giving you the crappy orders that no one wants to take because they have no one who's going to accept them. The next thing is, so just to summarize that, every time you get an order, you want to select your next orders, you know? You don't want to just get given an order. Postmates is all about like strategic gambling. You're kind of strategic gambling in a way, you know? You're picking your orders, you want to pick the best ones. You don't want to just accept everything. You're going to be wasting a lot of time. So the third tip that I have for you guys is don't drive fast, you know, drive slow. The miles per gallon that you waste is not going to be worth that extra 30 seconds that you make it in time or something, you know? So drive slow, save your gas. Don't, you know, if you get a speeding ticket or something, man, that is going to screw up your week, and that's going to take out like what, half of your pay that you make that week. It's just not worth it. And just save that money that you can make on the extra miles per gallon. It really adds up, you know. The fourth thing that I would say is when you're taking a Postmates order, be careful of where they're taking you to, you know. Sure, you might get a good order from like Cheesecake Factory, a big high-end restaurant, but if it takes you to somewhere like, for example, I'm in Las Vegas, anything that goes to the strip, I do not accept, no matter what. If you have to deliver to a hotel, just forget about it. It's gonna take you so long to deliver to that hotel. You gotta walk up, you gotta find their room, all this stuff, and then you find out they didn't even tip you or something. You did all that for $4? Are you kidding me? No. So also on top of that, you have to be strategic about where the orders are taking you. If the order is going to take you like really far away from the city where there's no other restaurants, then you might not want to take it because you're going to have to drive all the way back to get an order. Sorry for the interruption. I'm doing DoorDash. That is extremely loud. So yeah, you're not going to want to like take an order that takes you super far away because you got to think like, oh, it's 4 miles, not that far. But then if you have to drive 4 miles back, you actually did an 8-mile drive. So you got to take that in consideration. The next tip that I have for you guys is you got to be strategic because Postmates, they don't tell you how much you're making. Unlike all the other apps, they'll give you an upfront how much the delivery driver is paying or how much the customer is paying you guys. And on Postmates, they are only going to give you that standard flat rate of $3. I don't know if it's different in every state, but I think it's the same. So in Vegas, we make $3 per order, and you want to accept the restaurants that are more high end, because if you're taking an order from McDonald's, the customer doesn't plan on tipping you typically, you know? So you want to accept an order from like Cheesecake Factory if you possibly can, or I don't know why I keep using Cheesecake Factory. Higher end restaurants, you know? Because the higher end restaurants, you're more likely to have an expensive order and they're tipping based on a percentage of how much that order was. So if you have more expensive orders, I mean, generally you're going to take about the same amount of time anyways, rather than if you're doing like an order from McDonald's or something. So you want to pick out the higher restaurants rather than like McDonald's and like Burger King. You want to try to kind of avoid those, in my opinion, though. You know, some people like doing the fast food place because you can just go through the drive-thru, but personally I'd rather walk in and get a more bigger expensive order, because on Postmates you're basically surviving off your tips. If they're not tipping you, you're not making very much money. And yeah, so again, these are all my opinions and just based on experiences, because I've been doing this for about 4 years and I mostly only do DoorDash now. I will do Postmates every once in a while if it's like slow on DoorDash, but yeah, again, this is all my opinion. But if you guys enjoyed this video at all, please give it a like and subscribe if you guys haven't. I'm trying to give out as much free information to you guys as possible, because I've seen some people and I just feel like they're struggling. Especially like the other day, I was sitting there waiting for this order that took like 30 minutes and someone else was sitting in the restaurant with me. So they were only logged into Postmates, right? So they were sitting there waiting about 30 minutes as well. And before we got our order, so this restaurant is super slow. Before we got our order, he got another order and he had to accept it because Postmates just added it on. I was given other orders from the same place and I was like, no way, I'm not sitting here waiting for another order. They're taking 30 minutes per each order. So that guy had to sit there and wait for the next order. And for one, this sucks for the customer because they're taking over 30 minutes. Their order's like 30 minutes late already. Then they have to wait for another order that's going to take another 30 minutes or so to make. So again, that's probably like the biggest flaw about Postmates, is they just add on extra orders, and personally I just don't like it. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you guys. Subscribe if you haven't. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it all, again, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.